y'all, it's Hope from Crafty Hope here, and welcome to day 45 of ICAD. ICAD means Index Card a Day. It actually comes from Tammy Garcia of Daisy Yellow. I've got her information below. She has themes and prompts to help inspire you on this challenge, which is just to take an index card every day for the 61 days of June and July and, put some art on it. Create every day for those 61 days. This is day 45, like I said, and that's 3/4 of the way about through this challenge. I cannot even believe that. But in addition to Tammy's prompts and themes, my friend Nina Fickett also has a prompt that she offers up. Today's two prompts are travel, that's from Tammy, and then stippling, that's from Nina. I'm not using either of those today. This is my second day in a row without using the prompts. But I saw those prompts yesterday and turned them over in my head, and I could have used some stickers that were not stickers, well, I guess stickers, but stamps that were travel themed, and I could do some stippling, but it felt like too much of a reach for me, and I kind of just want to play. I feel like I've been overthinking my cards a bit much lately. And I just kind of want to throw things. Now, I feel kind of bad because yesterday's card was mostly brown with some red on it, and today is mostly brown with some purple on it. But that's okay. I'm kind of going with instinct and what feels right and not overthinking. This one, maybe I overthought it a little because it took me a while, but I really was just kind of playing. Now, all of my iCads, I am, trying to use up a couple of scrap boxes, which are just paper and fabric and who knows what else scraps that are, things that I've cleaned up off of my desk from other projects. And instead of using iCAD to create more scraps, I've decided to try to use up the ones I have. Now I'm getting to the bare bones, and I say that of this one on the left that I'm using, because I've got a lot of like transparent things and things I've avoided using on other cards, and I decided, you know what, just put it all in there. We'll see what happens. So there's like a doily and envelope paper, and there's some of the Tim Holtz tissue paper and a tea bag, and that's some dictionary paper with the hole cut in it. And what else am I going to put on there? I think another tea bag, maybe. No, a coffee filter. Haha. Coffee filters and tea bags. So lots of transparent type things. I may have more coming up because, like I said, I'm getting down to the dregs of these boxes. Now, I started to grab another because, like I said, I've got two. I started to grab the other one, which is a little more full, but I thought, no, I already knew that I was gonna be struggling with this. Not struggling, but have some odd little things in this one. So I was like, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna see what happens. So I'm sticking down the last couple things with my Oohoo glue stick. That bit of white in that upper left from the doily was bothering me a little bit, but I'm gonna fix that in a second. All right, so I think that's just about everything that I'm gonna put on this one for my collage. I'm gonna trim it up real quick. And now I'm a little annoyed when I trimmed it before, after I put down the first two things, I did cut my card kind of wonky, but that's okay. It's, I actually have an inkling in my head to cut my card up to pieces or punch holes in it or something at some point in the next 16 days of, is it 16? Yeah, 16 days of ICAD. So there I have some instant coffee that has dried up in a little yogurt cup, and I reconstitute it with a bunch of water, and I'm just painting this onto my card. And I think, okay, that's good. And I'm like, no, I need some splatter. So I'm going to splatter, but because the coffee that's on there is wet, it kind of soaks up some of that splatter. So I'm going to go ahead and try this. And then I'm like, no, what I really wanted was some deep, dark splatter. So I'm working my way, kind of pulling up some of that darker coffee bit, and so splattering that. And y'all, I've got like layers on layers of coffee, and I love that. Look at that. So many different shades from just some coffee. Love it. Now, one of the little pieces of paper I put down had a little bit of like purple on it, and so I let that kind of inspire what I'm gonna do here. So I pulled out my seedless preserves, distress oxide, and one of my 2 boxes of hand carved stamps. Y'all, you can see that's almost all erasers that I have just carved. I'm gonna put a link upper in the upper right about how I carve some of my stamps. It's seriously, I use erasers because it's cheap, and yeah, but they're not the easiest thing to carve. If you can get some easy carve, I recommend that instead of erasers. But anyway, so I pick out this like botanical type one, and I'm going to just stamp that down on my card with the seedless preserves in a couple spots, making sure I bring it to each side of the card so it feels a little more balanced. I kept wanting to put down another stamp there, but I just couldn't figure it out. Here I've got a little fine liner bottle that I have. I don't even remember what I put in there. I think some gold paint and some gold medium is what's in there. It's just gold stuff. I don't know. Yeah. I don't remember what I put in there. But I wanted a gold fine liner, and y'all, I just did like a scribble, kind of an anemic writing almost thing across the card, and then I pulled out my pencil box of focal elements and just kind of flipped through it for a minute until I found this. It's a Tim Holtz photo booth picture of this little boy, and y'all, look at him. He looks like a baby, but he also looks like, I don't know, like a brute. Like he's tough, and I don't know. But I like him, and so I decided he's what I'm going to use. And I had pulled out this purple thread when going through my scrapbox. Somehow it was in there, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to put this aside. I may need it, and I'm going to use it. But first, I decided I needed to back my little guy with something. So I grabbed some more of that Tim Holtz tissue paper from my scrapbox. And I think on my desk, I had a little piece of some more of that security envelope that I'll tear down. And I used those because they were already on my card. They were things that it kept the consistency of what's on the card, especially those 2 things you can see over on the right side of the card, and I've decided to put him on the left side on top of some of that stamping. So I'm futzing with this forever, trying to decide what the best arrangement for him would be, and it's the original arrangement I had down. So I'm like, just get the matte gel hope and glue him down. So that's what I'm gonna do. And matte gel's probably a bit of overkill for that envelope and tissue paper, but I didn't want to switch between adhesives because I knew that photo booth picture needed something heavier to glue it down. Tacky glue would have worked or something like that just as well, but the matte gel's perfect. So I'm going to weigh that down while I look for a needle and thread my needle and tie a knot and all of that, and then I'm going to come back in and just make a couple of stitches. I looked at them for a minute trying to decide where I wanted them, and sometimes I kept thinking I wanted X's, but I was like, no, that just seems, I don't know, not right for this little guy. And like I said, he looks kind of like a brute, like he needs stitches. So I'm going to do a couple stitches over on the left side of his picture and then several more up along the top. Now, when I was looking for a needle, y'all, I kept reaching for my big fat ones. I love my fat needles. They're easier to handle. They're longer. But I knew that would poke bigger holes in this than I really wanted. So I went for a skinny embroidery needle. And it was almost too thin. I was almost cutting myself on it, trying to poke it through all of these layers of collage and whatnot. So I'm having a little bit of a time with it. And like I said, I just looked up and happened to have this purpley thread come out of my box, and it's just regular embroidery floss, but it had been separated down into 3 strands, so it had been in halved. Ooh. And I don't know what I had used it for previously. There's no telling. And somehow it ended up in my scrap box. So yeah, I'm using that. Luck of the draw, I guess. Alright, so I am finishing up these stitches. I think I did, like I said, 3 along the left side and something like, I'm looking at 7 along the top. I kept my odd numbers up there. So I'll do these last 2, and then I'm going to tie it off in the back. And the rest of this kind of spirals up pretty quickly to finish it up once I get him sewn down and this tied up, I'm going to reach over to my box of sentiments, y'all. You know, I've got boxes of scraps, I've got boxes of sentiments, boxes of stamps. Everything's in little boxes, but I've also got a box of sentiments that are all like my Tim Holtz stickers and things I've cut out of magazines and whatever. And I pull out the Tim Holtz clippings and almost immediately see the words brave and handsome. And I thought, oh, well, done. That little boy is exactly, he looks so brave and handsome, and that's done. But I need to frame it up him a little, and so I'm going to give him a little bit of shadow with my Stabilo all pencil in black and just go around kind of that right side of him just a little and activate it with a wet paintbrush, and then I'm going to be done with this card. Like I said, I tried not to think about it too much. It took a little while to get there. It was a good play. And yeah. All right, I don't know what tomorrow holds. We'll see. But I hope you will come back and watch then. If you liked this, make sure to give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Let me know if you've got any questions at all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.